Back students, in the chapter of human health and disease, almost we completed what are the different types of parasites and what are the different types of hosts and what are the different types of vectors. And then we saw different types of diseases also, how malaria will spread from what are the different stages of the parasite, that is malaria, plasmodium vivax, and how the filariasis or elephantiasis will propagate from one person to another person, and what is the parasite and what is an ascariasis. So all these diseases we discussed in detail. And then what is different types of immunological reactions, that is under the chapter immunity. What are the different types of cells, what is the structure of antibodies, all these details we discussed. And then we discussed some diseases. We discussed some diseases like human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, and what are the different types of cancers and how they will occur due to lifestyle habits also and due to the mutations also, and what are the different types of agents which will cause the cancer, like physical agents, chemical agents, and biological agents, and what are the diagnostic methods. So these are the diseases. We sometimes if you don't know, they will come. So due to unlucky, due to ignorance, due to some lack of awareness, we will get some diseases. But some diseases that will ruin the life of a person, that will ruin the life physically, socially, mentally, and make that person zero in the society, that is only because of getting some kind of drugs. If a man is habituated, if a man is addicted to drug, their entire physical life, mental life, and social life will also be ruined. And they didn't get any 1% respect in the society because they don't know how they are behaving with the public, and they don't know how they are behaving with the family members. First of all, they lose the respect in the family, they lose the respect among the siblings, cousins, and also in the society. So what are the different kinds of drugs and how they are spoiling the youth and how they are becoming addiction with this. So we will see now. Today in this video we will discuss broadly what are the different types of drugs which are present and how they are spoiling the lives. We will see now. So the drugs, they are broadly divided into three groups. The first one is opioids, and the second one is cannabinoids, and the third one is Coca Alkaloids. Coca Alkaloids. These are the three different groups of drugs. So we will see one by one how in what manner. That means opiums are derived from which plants. All these are mainly derived from the plants. So opioids are derived from which plants, which region, which part of the body was affected by this, where they are containing receptors, so they will go and block those receptors, like that. And what are the effects and what is the mode of injection into the body, how they will take through snorting or they will take through injections, like that we will see in detail. So now we will discuss about opioids. The receptors for these drugs, receptors of these drugs are present in central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. Intestinal tract. For example, if you take the opioids drugs, this is the drug molecule, and if this is the brain, this is the brain. Here, for example, it is containing the receptors for. They will recognize this drug, and they will bind the receptors. They will bind to the receptors here. So as a result of that, they will block that function, and we may feel the sense of dizziness or discomfort, like that. So the receptors are present in the CNS and gastrointestinal tract. So what is the example for the opioids? You may listen this one. Heroin. Heroin is a drug that is example of opioids. So the chemical name of the heroin is diacetyl morphine. Diacetyl morphine. That means it is obtained from the morphine. So how it is obtained? By acetylation. All the chemical structures are given in your textbook. By acetylation of morphine. Because this is a morphine drug. For example, it is known as diacetyl morphine. That means two CH3COOH groups are attached. CH3COOH groups, if they are attached to the morphine, then it will become heroin. So that's why it is known as diacetyl morphine, its chemical name. So from where it is extracted? The opioids are extracted from latex of opium poppy plant. Opium poppy plant. Opium. So what is the scientific name of this plant? Papaver somniferum. Papaver somniferum. This is the scientific name of the opium poppy plant. So from the latex, the glue-like material, they will extract the morphine, and chemically they will modify the morphine by adding two acetyl groups, and that is known as heroin. So type of ingestion. So from how it will be taken inside the body. It will be taken through snorting. So what is snorting? For example, they will keep on the, you will see in the movies, they will keep on here and they will inhale it through nose. So that is snorting. And another one is in the mode of injection. They will directly inject into the blood. And what is the effects? It will act as a depressant. It will slow down all the body functions. Slows down the body functions. So as a result of that, the person may feel pleasure, depression, and slows down body functions. So this is the effects and the type of ingestion of the drugs, that is opioids. Now we will discuss about the other type of drugs. Those are cannabinoids. So what are cannabinoids? These are the drugs which will have the receptors in brain. But the opioids have receptors in central nervous system, that is both brain and spinal cord. These are having the receptors in brain. These cannabinoids are obtained. These are obtained from inflorescence. That is the total flowers, the flower arrangement, that is inflorescence. Either it may be from the petals, it may be from the seeds of the flower, either it may be from the sepals of the flower. So different types different types of drugs are there from the cannabinoids. That is based on the region from there they collected from the plant. So it is an inflorescence of cannabis plant, Cannabis sativa. Its scientific name is Cannabis sativa. So they will inflorescence, they will take from different regions like flower tops, leaves, resins of cannabis plant. So depend upon the location from where they are extracted, there are different types of cannabinoids. So those are marijuana, hashish, charas, and ganja. So more frequently you will listen this one, ganja. So for example, if they are taken from the flower tops, it will be marijuana. If from the leaves, it is ganja. So like that, depend upon the place where they are extracted this drug. So that is different types: marijuana, hashish, and charas, ganja. And the mode of ingestion here is inhalation or oral ingestion. They will take through mouth or they will inhale these drugs. And the effects here is, it will affects the blood vascular system. It will affect blood vascular system and also the nervous system. It will affect the blood vascular system and nervous system. Okay, this is about cannabinoids. It will be taken from the plant Cannabis sativa. In the entire plant, they may be taken from the flower tops or from the leaves or from the resins of this plant. So depend upon the location, these are the different types of drugs we call in the group of cannabinoids. Now we will see the Coca Alkaloids. So what are those? What are Coca Alkaloids? Coca Alkaloids. This is also known as cocaine. Coca Alkaloids are also called as cocaine. It is derived from the coca plant, extracted or obtained from coca plant. So the scientific name here is very important, that is Erythroxylum coca. Erythroxylum coca. So this is the scientific name of the plant from where the cocaine is extracted. This Erythroxylum coca is native plant of South America. South America. It is not a native of the Asia. It belongs to South America. From there it is extracted and it is exported all over the world. So by the name of drug mafia. So what is the action? Mode of action. It interferes with neurotransmitter. It interferes with neurotransmitter, that is dopamine. So dopamine, what is neurotransmitter? It will transfer the message from one neuron to another neuron. For example, this is one neuron. This is one neuron and this is another neuron. And this is another neuron. So here, if the message is traveling in this direction, in between the two neurons, the place where the neurotransmitter will be released. That neurotransmitter will pass the message from this neuron to this neuron. But if the person is taking the cocaine, that cocaine will come and binds to the dopamine. So as a result of that, it will not transmit message from one neuron to another neuron. So the message will not be conducted. As a result, brain functional will not be happen. So this is the mode of interaction of the drug with the nervous system by interfering with the neurotransmitter, that is dopamine. And the mode of ingestion here is snorting. They will keep it here and they will inhale it forcefully. And the cocaine is also known as coke or crack. This is also known as cocaine, is also known as coke or crack. So what it will do? It will create euphoria. Euphoria, that means it will give some pleasure. Euphoria and increased energy. The person will be excited like anything. The person will be excited. So, and creates hallucinations. That means happy moments. He will feel like hallucination. That means, for example, he is in a home, but he will feel he is in a Switzerland, a beautiful place, for example. So like that, hallucinations will come. He is with his friends, he is enjoying. Like that, he will feel. So what are the different drugs which will cause the hallucinations? Is one drug is cocaine, and another plant extracts from where the hallucinations will be created. Atropa belladonna. Atropa belladonna. And the other drug is datura. Other plant is datura. So these are the three different types: erythroxylum coca plant, Atropa belladonna plant, and datura plant. So if the drugs are extracted from these plants, they will create the hallucinations, and it will affect the neurotransmitters. So message from one place to another place, it will not be transferred. So the neural system will be blocked. The message will be blocked at one place only. It cannot travel from one place to another place. This is the three major types of drugs which can be now which is in the use. So, and again one more classification I want to discuss here. See here, some drugs actually they will be helpful in the medicine field, medical field, because some mental patients will be there, some depressed people will be there, and after surgery so much pain is there. To help the patient to withstand that pain, they will give some drugs, painkillers, and they will give some sedatives to get sleep, because with that heavy pain the patient is not able to sleep for 3 days, 4 days. If he may not sleep, what will happen? Other side effects will also cause. So to make the patient happy from the severe pain, they will give some drugs. So these drugs nowadays, these drugs also will be abused by other persons. Because what will happen, for example, morphine is a drug which will be given to the patients which are undergone with severe or heavy surgeries. Because after surgery, due to that stitches, everything, severe pain will come, and he may not get sleep. So morphine acts as a painkiller and also as a sedative. That means it will give sleep. So the persons, they will take the morphine and they are enjoying that sleep. So the drug is abused from the good cause to bad cause. So morphine will be taken so many times, all the systems will be failed, and the person will ultimately die. So it is only for a limited purpose, but it is abusing, and they are using for prolonged purpose. So what are the different types of drugs which will have the good cause, but the people are using for a bad cause? So what are those? So the heading is drugs with medicinal properties. Medicinal properties. So what are those drugs? Some group of drugs like barbiturates, amphetamines, benzodiazepines will be given to mental illness patients. Mental illness. What are the different types of characters like depression and insomnia, like lack of sleep. Insomnia is lack of sleep. The most dangerous disease, that is lack of sleep. In sleep, so many diseases will cure. If you in sleep, so many things will change, and you will get a pleasure after waking up of the sleep. But if you didn't get sleep, try once without sleep for one day. What will happen? The entire the next day will be spoiled. You cannot do any work. So the people which are feeling with suffering with insomnia, they will not get sleep for weeks together. So how they will feel? So to save them, they will give the drugs, barbiturates, amphetamines, and benzodiazepines. And for example, a father or mother die in a family, that sons or daughters will suffer from depression. Close relatives will die depression. So to get rid of that depression, they will give these drugs. And other drugs like morphine, already we discussed here. Morphine, it is an effective, very effective sedative. Sedative means it will give leads to sleep, and sedative and painkiller. It is an effective sedative and painkiller, which will be given to patients who undergone surgeries. So these are the different drugs will be helpful in the medicinal properties in the medical field. But these are also drugs will be used for abuse. All these are used for abuse. And that's why mostly these drugs will not be given to the persons without a doctor prescription, because they don't know how they are using. If doctor prescription is there, then only they will give the drugs in the medical shops. Okay, these are the different useful drugs, but people are using for the bad purpose. Now, the most common, the drug which is present, we can see everywhere. Even nowadays, school children also start smoking. So what it is? What are the drugs present in a tobacco? So main heading is smoking. It is a very dangerous and most affecting. It is affecting the youth of the country. It is spoiling the youth. If the youth is spoiled, the country development will also be spoiled. Nowadays, children also start smoking. What a bad this is. So we have to choose good friends. We have to move around with the good peer group. At the school level also we are seeing the smoking people. So how bad it is, where we are going. So those are not good. So what is present in the smoking, that is tobacco. From tobacco only the cigars all will be manufactured. And what is the chemical which is present here is nicotine. Very dangerous chemical. That is nicotine. The group it is belongs to alkaloid. It is an alkaloid. What is the function of the nicotine? It stimulates different hormones like adrenaline and noradrenaline. These are the two different hormones. They will stimulate into blood circulation. So in the blood, these concentrations will be increased. So as a result of that, what will happen? Rise in blood pressure, and heartbeat will take place. And what are the causes for this? Causes of smoking. Carefully listen. It will cause lung cancer. Or we will see it will lead to cancer to lungs, throat, urinary bladder, bronchitis, emphysema. Already these diseases, emphysema, we discussed in the respiratory system. Coronary heart disease, gastric ulcers. Because this is having the corrosive property, it will damage each and every tissue where the smoke is entering. It will damage those tissues. And if you chew the tobacco in the form of gutkhas, what will happen? Causes cancer to oral cavity. So here different types of smoke. First of all, if you smoke, that air will enter into lungs. So it may, in due course of time, it may cause lungs cancer, and it will goes to the throat only. So throat cancer, and finally that smoke reaches to urinary bladder also. Urinary bladder cancer and bronchitis, severe respiratory diseases will get emphysema. It will spoil all the alveoli. So exchange of gases will not be done properly. So as a result of that, what will happen? Chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, COPD, will develop. Lungs cannot be able to take the air inside and it will not release outside. If the lungs will not take air, oxygen will not go into the tissues. If oxygen will not go into the tissues, it will there is no gas to break down the digested molecules. As a result of that, ATP will not be released and no energy levels are present in the body. So the person cannot even walk 10 meters after some years. So because energy is not there. Why energy is not there? Oxygen is not there. Why oxygen is not there? Lungs are not able to take the oxygen because alveoli are damaged. And heart diseases will also come. So sudden heart attacks and gastric ulcers. So all these are the severe effects will be caused due to smoking. And if you chew with the help of in the form of gutka, in a movie theaters we will see Mukesh. So what will happen? Oral cancer. Severe side effects. So if you see on the tobacco packet, that cigar packet, they will clearly mention it is very injurious to health, and they will print the diagram of the photo of the oral cancer and the lung cancers also. So that is not good. So what are the effects of the smoking? Effects. Carbon monoxide is present in, it will be carbon monoxide. In the smoke, the carbon monoxide will be there. Its chemical formula is CO. So these levels are increased in the blood because with the smoke, it will enter into the blood ultimately. As a result of that, carbon dioxide has the ability to bind with the hemoglobin more quickly. Actually, hemoglobin binds with either oxygen or either with the carbon dioxide. But CO has more efficiently can bind and compared to the oxygen. If both two are there, it will CO will easily bind with the hemoglobin by eliminating the oxygen. So as a result of that, hemoglobin with oxygen cannot bind, but hemoglobin binds with carbon dioxide. This level will increase and this level will be decreased. So our blood supply will have carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is carcinogenic. It will cause cancer and loss of breath. We cannot breathe if the carbon monoxide is present. Understanding? For example, I will tell you, in a closed room, no other opening will be there, and through a small opening, you will pump the smoke from the bike. For example, this is a room, and all the closed, and through small hole here a bike is there. Here bike is there, and this is the silencer, and we will connect a pipe into this room. So smoke will slowly enters here, and a person is seated here. A person here is there. So no other opening, and continuously for 30 minutes, if you pump the smoke here, the person will die because no oxygen is there, and the carbon monoxide is heavily bind with the hemoglobin, and it will transport all the blood, and it will be leads to death. So a simple way of dying a person. So that much dangerous carbon monoxide is. So through smoking, carbon monoxide will binds to the hemoglobin, and the oxyhemoglobin levels will be reduced, and carboxyhemoglobin levels will be increased. See here, these are the different. Why? What is there in the smoking? What is the pleasure? I don't know. People are smoking 10, 20 cigars in a day. One cigar will reduce 1 day lifespan in the human beings. That much dangerous it is. So try to don't habituate to the smoking. Be a healthy person. Nowadays it is youth are feeling this is as a fashion. Even everyone is start smoking. Because if the youth is, again I am telling you that if the youth of a country is spoiled, the country will be spoiled. No development. So our India is a most youngest nation with having most percentage of youth. And so this, so the our enemy countries will make this one as a cash. They want to spoil the youth of the country. For example, from Pakistan border, our army is trying to cut so many kgs of heroin, cocaine, so many drugs, because they are sending into our country to spoil the youth. This is also a part of terrorism. Every day from Bangladesh border, from Nepal border, so many through this border, daily this is a drug mafia. Daily thousands of cases of chemicals, these tobacco materials, cocaine, heroin, these drugs are highly smuggled into our country to spoil our youth. So you have to be conscious and don't go to the persons who are having these habits. They want to make you also habituated, they want to make you spoil. So don't go to those persons. Be healthy, don't go through this. And we will tomorrow, in the tomorrow's class, we will discuss what are the effects and what is the what this will cause in the girls or boys, female or male. So what are the different types of effects will be caused due to drug abuse, and how socially we will become disrespectful, because we will the persons who are having these habits, they will be seen like a dog in the society. No value for these persons. They will lose the value, they will lose the respect in the society. Once a police will caught, that will be nuisance to us, nuisance to our family members, and we lose the respect from the society. So all these details we will see in the next class. So this is the chemical classification of the different drugs, and what is the diseases we will get if we will habituate to this type of drugs. Okay, so read all these things. Tomorrow we will discuss the furthermore effects of the drug abuse. Thank you so much.